Network and CEO of a multi-state licensed private investigative agency serving many Fortune 500 clients, 27-year veteran of conducting investigations in the private sector. He has logged over 50,000 hours of covert surveillance in his career, and the author of Tactical Surveillance. He's a member of the International Counterterrorism Officers Association, has a bunch of police degrees. I'm not going to get into it all, and advises police departments around the country. And he's given us a lot of really good intel that's checked out over the years. And he put out a transcript with his DHS source saying, get ready for Obama to drop the hammer. And they said the plan is to go out, harass and attack gun owners, and then stage stuff and just say gun owners are terrorists. Well, you can already see that in the admitted news. And you heard police officers call in and say, yeah, this is what they've been told. Well, I've got the training manuals. They say gun owners and veterans are the terrorists. It was our government runs Al-Qaeda now in Libya and Syria, killing people. Okay, I mean, the government is gone. We are wide open, worldwide emergency. The U.S. is completely taken at the federal level by globalist foreign forces. We still have the media and the internet, but Doug Hagman joins us. Doug, I don't know if this happened to you. I don't even know if you have a Facebook. Did you know that we are tracking hundreds of Facebooks of every pro-gun group there is being shut down for any pro-gun statements? Mike Adams, you guys bring me that printout back in? Actually, here it is. Mike Adams was shut down for, let me show people this. Among the many misdeeds of the British rule in Indian history, we'll look upon the act of depriving a whole nation of arms as the blackest. Mahatma Gandhi believed, and he quoted the Second Amendment, by the way, and that's from his autobiography, page 446. No speech is allowed. People say, oh, well, that's their website. No, they act as a commons. You come and give it value, post your photos, your articles, your work, and then they come in and say, you're not going to have any pro-gun talk. Folks, they're moving on every front. This is the greatest attack. And they're already announcing they're going to physically make you turn miniguns in, and all the others are registered, and you've got to do a level 3 type deal where you thumbprint and they can refuse you. That article just went up at Infowars.com. Again, you've got to put out maximum effort to create the biggest counter buzz to this you ever have, or it's over. Doug Hagman, I'm ranting here. You're joining us by phone on short notice. We'll obviously get you to pop back in tomorrow when Mike Adams is in. I'll be in with him part of the show as well. I'll be here working behind the scenes. I've got so much work to do. Doug, I mean, your source is confirmed because all this is already out in the open, but he gives us even more intel. What are we facing right now, and is there any way to stop this runaway train, or has the enemy committed, and why is the enemy committing whole hog? The media is saying he's the new Lincoln. He will wage war on the states. They're calling for people to be arrested. They're calling for him to be a dictator. Reuters is. My God, it looks like they're going to go whole hog and stir up a race war and say you're racist if you don't turn your guns in. I mean, they are dropping are they dropping the hammer completely, Doug Hagman?
Alex, thanks for having me. Number one, yes, they are dropping the hammer. This is not a drill. I mean, this is the real thing. I think that what we're seeing right now is the start, not the. I mean, this is the start. We haven't even seen the real worst of the beginning yet. There's obviously, we're seeing censorship ourselves on Facebook, on social media networking sites. Our posts are being removed. Anything that having to do with the Second Amendment, gun rights, are being removed. As you mentioned earlier on, my DHS source told me that they've got no this regime that's currently in power are pulling out all of this stuff.
This is Obama's cyber order he won't let Congress see. He told Congress, I signed a domestic order. You can't see it. That's dictator. I mean, exactly. This is it.
Yeah, exactly right. And there are right now. This is such an asymmetrical warfare. People are not understanding or comprehending. But you're doing a good job of explaining this. But people do not comprehend the fronts that we are fighting. We're fighting the informational warfare, the cyber attacks, from all angles. But what is happening here? Everything that we're seeing right now is a lie. From the economy to Benghazi to even the shootings have so much mystery surrounding them. And by the way, Alex, according to my DHS source, expect more. Expect at least one more to really really solidify this sentiment against these ugly, bad, scary.
So wait, your
weapons.
source is saying they staged it?
My source would not go to that level, however, indicated that there was his advice to me is research it. You will find things that are not right with it.
Well, it's the same deal. They've got stables of mental patients in psychiatric care wound up being given the weapons right now. Yes. And they're advertising, hey, you're a crazy person, go to a school, murder, it's the new thing to do.
Yeah, there's a lot wrong. I have to tell you this. There's a lot wrong with Sandy Hook with that situation. With all due respect to the victims there, there's a lot wrong with that situation. But the important part of this is to expect at least one more incident to really solidify in the minds of people that these big bad assault rifles, a misnomer to be sure, are not to be in the hands of the American people.
Go over what they're planning to do. Because, again, they're getting ready to collapse the economy. They can't have us armed while that happens. Plus, from my research, this is their excuse to go after gun owners and call us the new terrorist. The entire real architecture of Homeland was set up for that. The cover was Al-Qaeda.
Exactly. And you just said it. They are not necessarily interested in shutting down the social media or the internet. They're using social media to demonize people like you, people like me, anybody who speaks up for the right terms, for the right of free speech. By the way, Amendments 1 and 2 are linked, and they're going after both of them. And as we're seeing right now, as we're seeing it play out, obviously they want to take our guns and they want to shut us up. And they're doing both simultaneously. Anyone reporting on journalism, speaking out against government policies, anyone who protests anything that is antithetical to this regime will be shut up and censored, if you will. And not only that, but according to my source, put on a list, if you will, because when the money supply or when the economy collapses, when the dollar collapses, when we can no longer buy anything, and the riots break out, the very first people to go, according to my source, the very first people to be rounded up, the very first targets, if you will, on the radar of this regime are the people that are speaking the truth about what's taking place. Alex Jones, Doug Hagman, others like us who are getting to the heart of the matter. We are the targets for not only the censorship, but for what's coming after that. What's coming after that is the actual, the physical part of it to take us out of the fight before it really begins.
And look at how they've butchered the entire Bill of Rights and Constitution from one end to the other. Of course they're going to come after the guns. And you look at the collectivist left, these are conscious authoritarians. These aren't even leftists. These are just monstrous creatures that think they're on the winning team and think tyranny and torture is sexy. This will cause resistance, which is part of their plan as well, the rebranding of gun owners as terrorists. I took a lot of calls from police and military. Most of them are awake. Do you see this going the way the globalists plan?
Well, I think ultimately, and I was told that they have run models, computer models, to anticipate various outcomes. And they expect a greater than average acquiescence by gun owners so that they are not brandished as criminals who possess semi-automatic weapons. And by the way, these semi-automatic weapons will include, according to my source, any pistol, semi-automatic pistol, as well as the so-called assault rifle.
That's right. They've done their studies. They think the American people are cowards and are afraid, so they'll roll over, and then the dark night begins. As they told us the dark night was coming, didn't they, in their little film? And so this is their time to rise. This is their fire going up. This is their attack on us. And they're going to take the pension funds, the private property. They're going to do the forced inoculations. It's already begun. They're just going to do whatever they want. This is their time.
Yes, and as you always say and have said, they're laughing at us because they know neighbors will go against neighbors and family members against family members because the collapse of the dollar will introduce a hunger, a lack of pensions being taken away, that there won't be any money. I don't want to sound like I'm fear-mongering, but it's just the way it is.
And any gun owner that defends themselves, just like in England, if you defend yourself with your fist in your own home, you're thrown into prison for decades. Just the savage state viciously attacking any form of self-defense. Just a hell, and Bloomberg telling you what to eat and just and force feeding kids GMO while keeping them down to 860 calories a day, starvation level. Just America, a giant re-education hive run by gibbering control freaks screaming you're a racist if you don't bow to them.
Exactly. And people, and my DHS source, and then people say, well, Americans won't take this. Well, look at what Americans are subjecting themselves to and allowing themselves to be subjected to at airports. That's, with the TSA. Where's the outrage over that? Well, what's the average American's line in the sand? Is it going to be the registration of the weapons, the confiscation of the weapons, the criminalization of the weapons? At what point? At what point? What's the line? What's the tripwire here? And once again, according to my source, there have been models run. They do expect a certain amount of resistance, but they feel that, and I suppose to a degree, I agree, that there are a lot of people with virtual muscles, like beer muscles, that will post on the internet saying, well, they're not going to take my gun. Well, look what happened within Katrina. I mean, how many shots were fired when the gun confiscation took place?
No, the globalists are calling the bluff. They're going to take everything. Exactly. And the mainline Republicans are going to line. That's the big sign how much trouble we're in, is all these congressional Republicans coming out and saying, let's turn the guns in.
Exactly.
I mean, the TV shows being canceled, the biggest gun manufacturer announcing sale or shut down. I mean, this is it. They've been told, the executive, well, it's not my intel. They've said Obama's looking at an executive order. He'll use his commission as the cover. It's totally illegal. And then once they've done that, they're just going to take everything else. It's just going to be horrible.
It will be, and people, I don't think, have a complete understanding, Alex, of how horrible it will be. We're talking about an oppression like this country has never seen before. And once again, will we rise up? Will we be able to get together?
I predict about 10% aren't going to look for trouble, but when it comes, they'll defend. And I predict about 1.5% are going to go on the offensive. But that's part of the plan to start the Civil War, to brand gun owners as terrorists. I mean, the globalists are just pure evil. People aren't sophisticated enough to get it. The cops aren't. The public isn't. And so the foreign bankers will get. And I mean, tell you, I would not want to be a cop, though. I'll tell you that right now.
No. And that was discussed, too, about where the cops lie or where the police officers lie in this, what their position might be. And also, I've been hearing, too, of the expansion of the TSA commission to make TSA officers commissions to assist in the confiscation if necessary, which is just totally absurd.
No. They put them in all 50 states. Well, I keep saying last year, like it's 2013. This year, they deployed to all 50 states big caches for their sleeper teams. I mean, they're already ready to stand up, as they call it, the military, and they've got all these 72-hour stand-up programs for FEMA camps. That's all official. Billions a year. I mean, they're ready. They're just going to, they just cannot wait to arrest people, knock our teeth out, torture us, rape our wives. I mean, it is just hell.
Well, and you make a good point, because they're really not only coming after our guns, but they're coming after us. And that sounds like a really... oh,
no, they're gonna bomb police stations and blame it on us. And, the cops will get all mad and run out and kill a bunch of patriots. And then patriots will kill them. And then the globalists will sit back and laugh, and it'll be a great fun. Total takeover of America. Front row seats to gun confiscation. Get ready. Hope you all enjoy it. We'll be back.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's